Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so that potential buyers can learn more about the business and the seller to help them make an informed buying decision. If you would like to learn more about this business, including details like what type of business it is, how much revenue and profit it makes, and all of the assets included with the business, simply visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business's listing number, which you can find in the video thumbnail and in the description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. So without further ado, let's get into this interview. First up, let's learn a little bit about you. Can you tell us about your background in building and running online businesses?
I started this business back in 2009. I worked in DIY and design, and I wanted to do something where I didn't have to work 9 to 5. I wanted to do my own thing where I was, had my own business. So I started back in 2009, the wild, wild west of websites, and just learned how to build a website and post about it and, learned everything I could, and was lucky that I got into AdThrive at the time, which is now Raptive. And, I get so much help through them over the years, how to build the website and keep it trendy and current. But I also was an expert in design and, painting and helping people decorate their home on a budget. And that resonated really early on for me. And that's why my website was such a success early on. And just I kept building on that over the last 16 years.
Why are you selling the business now instead of keeping it and growing it further?
The reason why I'm selling the business instead of keeping it or growing it is I am 67 and I want to retire. That's basically it. My husband, my siblings, my friends are all retired now, and they're all traveling, and we're asking me to come on trips with them and do fun things with them in retirement. And I want to, take that. This is my opportunity now to do that. So that is why I'm selling. It's going to be hard because it's such a good thing for me, as I know it will be for somebody else, but it's time for me to pivot and go into retirement.
Can you describe the amount and the type of work that you do on this business to maintain it?
The amount of work I do and the type of work I do to maintain the blog over these years is I, always am looking for new ideas to post, and I'll write a post about that. I used to be more heavily DIY, instructions, and I still have more. I was redoing a house, so I had lots of those kind of projects. So I still try to do that as I update things in my house and post about that. Or I see ideas out in the world, or, look at this is a cool trend to my readers, and give them ideas on how they could put it into their home. Since I have so many posts, thousands of posts, they're mostly are evergreen. I could update them, and I update them with the help of, in Raptive, there's a great dashboard now that they started like a few years ago, and every Raptive's websites, we have my own dashboard there with all the analytics of all my posts and what I could update, what I should update to make the most money. So going there is the best thing for me to see how to update old posts that would actually bring me more money than doing a brand new post. So that's what I've been, the last year or so, trying to update all my existing posts with new, fresh content ideas and just get it out there again. And that also helps not with just Google searches or just online searches for people, but my readers love it because I remember that one. That's so good. I'm going to do that again. Or what also work on Pinterest, because Pinterest is a great driver of traffic. And what Pinterest wants is new pins. So I have a ton of old pins, and my older pins do great. But to keep things fresh, I have to try to update the pin, which is not that hard to do because I have existing photos. And then you can do it right in Pinterest. I also always just try to keep, affiliates are really big now. So I was never really an affiliate site, but the more you add, readers love to know what you're interested in. So if you post, I have a style scouting post that I post ideas, and I always would put links to things that I found that I like my style that I like, and that does pretty well for me. And if I did that more, I could even add more money to what I make in a month. Also, just keep growing the business is really just, just looking for ideas. I could always get guest posts. I get emails, dozens a week for people wanting to guest post or sponsor post if you want to take on something like that, which I used to do a lot more, but I don't do that as much. But some of them pay and some of them just give you free stuff. But sometimes I have to deal with that and see how I'm going to, yes, I'll do that one. So that keeps ideas fresh and keeps things a little different on the blog. So basically, that's what I've been working on to maintain the blog.
So if you were to keep this business, what are some of the ways you would try to grow it?
If I was keeping the business, and how would I grow it, would be the question I just answered would just keep doing what I'm doing. It's really focus on the Raptive dashboard where it gives you exactly what posts that will drive the most traffic if you update them. So doing that and making new pins to keep the Pinterest fresh and I think I would, post a little more affiliate links in there of things that I find because I find the readers really like that. I would just keep doing that and growing it. I found that, my older posts are the ones that do the best, and they have been doing the best for years. They are just evergreen, and Google loves them still. So I've been really lucky to have that to keep everything updated.
Right. And what would you say are the biggest risks with this business that buyers should be aware of?
I think the biggest risks that a buyer should be aware of when you have a website is, if you're working on it alone, it's you. You have to work on it alone. If you hire people, then, you have help. That makes it a lot easier. Not easier, but just you can relegate and delegate things. I've grown this blog by myself, only working 9 to 5 hours, so it's doable. I think that you have to stay relevant, have to keep current. So you have to keep update. If you don't keep it updated or things start looking, older and not, up with the current trends in style then or decor or lifestyle or clothing, whatever it is the focus is going to be on for a post, it has to be relevant and just timely and updated and fresh. And then keep your email people, not to ignore the email list, keep them engaged with what you're going on and, keep asking them questions too. Like, what do you want? What's interesting to you? Because they enjoy that. They feel like they're a part of it. And if you lose that, then you don't want to risk that because it's such a good driver of traffic, your email list.
How much support are you willing to offer the buyer who acquires this business?
Basically what they need. If they have other websites, then they basically know the technical aspects of, especially a WordPress dashboard, what's behind it, how to look at it, how to set things up. Same with the Raptive dashboard. If they're familiar with it, they won't need much help with that. But if they do or not, this is all new to them, then I will help them step by step, through each of the dashboards, the WordPress dashboard, the blog's backend, and the Raptive dashboard, which two are the most important things that will help them learn what to do and how to keep building it and how they can, change what they want or, keep what they want, whatever. So I will offer them, the support with the media file and how to work with the photos, the categories, how it's organized, the structure, the cadence is the theme, how to work with that. It's so much easier nowadays. It's all plug and play, but I will give them until they feel like they know what they're doing.
Are you open to negotiating something like an earn-out agreement?
No, I think I want to just sell the site. So yeah, I could, revisit that maybe later on, but I really think I just want to just sell the site down outright.
Okay, final question. If you had to put yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why is your business a business worth buying?
The business, I think it's worth buying. It has so much potential. It's so much evergreen content on the site that is still relevant. I get comments all the time from older posts, especially because I have so much expertise and Google looks at me for some of these posts that have been always rank high for me for the site on, painting and things like, furniture painting, all that kind of stuff, that decorating, that it's just still evergreen. So many, many questions, comments about these things that I get thanking me for such a great post and it's helped them so much. So that's all on the blog still. That's all ongoing. So that is a great driver of traffic still. Also with just Raptive has the best dashboard. That I've said that before, and it just can help so much with what posts to update and the potential is all there. Just have to put a little time and effort into it. Pinterest too, the same thing. There's huge Pinterest. And Pinterest likes fresh things. So making new fresh pins with existing posts and existing photos. So there's not much work though. Like there's no new photography really needed. It's just getting take a different picture that hasn't been on Pinterest and from a post and make a pin out of it. And it's a good driver of traffic. So the potential to build this is huge is why it's worth buying.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this business is still for sale, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business listing number, which you can find in the video thumbnail and description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll find everything you need to know about this business. So thanks for joining us. See you next time.